Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it would be fun to do the how I did my makeup in high school tag. This is an older tag, it's been around for a while, but I think it really just shows me how far I've come, how much I use, how my skills have evolved, all of that. So that's what we're going to be doing. Please take a moment, hit that subscribe button if you are not already subscribed, and we're going to get into it. I have a handful of products, like everything on this table I could probably put in a small bag, which I do remember in high school having just a small bag. I didn't go out and buy anything new. I kind of looked at what I have and grabbed products that were similar. So I didn't go out and buy brand new stuff. I'm pretty sure in high school I used CoverGirl. It was just a generic CoverGirl foundation. I'm going to use my Fit Me. This is in the shade 120. This is probably a little too light, but it's not as light as my 112, which is not even close. And I used the little sponge. When I first started doing makeup, I used my fingers, and then I remember my junior and senior year of high school, I discovered these little wedges. So I used that instead. I have moisturized my face, but there's no primer. That was not a thing. There was no primer. But I honestly don't know if using these was better, because I was like every other girl who would keep one wedge until it was absolutely disgusting. So I think, like, in hindsight, it probably would have just been better to keep using my hands, because at least if I washed my hands before putting the makeup on, it wasn't like bacteria riddled like these would get. So yeah, I would use one of these until it was completely disgusting, and then I would throw it away. I would get, the pack of them. You can still buy these at Walgreens, CVS. I don't know how many come in a pack, but I would use one, trying to be conservative, until it was, like I said, absolutely gross. But that wasn't uncommon. A lot of my friends did that. It's just like I see girls that would come into the school that would have their beauty blenders that look like they've never been cleaned. So there's people that still. I would take it down because I was aware of the foundation line, and this is a better color match than the other one. I tend to go a little bit darker with my foundation, just a smidge, but this is probably actually kind of close to what my skin tone is. I don't know, I can't tell with this lighting. It looks like it's okay, but it may not be. And then I did use concealer. I did have, my mom had got me this little circle like compact from Clinique. It had a yellow side and a flesh tone side. And then I did have like a CoverGirl. So I'm just going to use my Neutrogena what is this called? I don't even know what this is. Hydra Boost. I actually need to get this one shade lighter. Yeah, the Clinique Duo with the yellow tone. I don't know what it was with that color, but that was the only concealer I've ever used to date that completely canceled out. Like, I can get my under eye circles like pretty canceled out, but I have to use 3 different concealers. So I don't know what it was. And they don't even make it anymore. You can still get the concealer in the compact, but it's just the flesh tone. It's not the two-toned. So I don't know why they stopped making that. And then this is just the Maybelline. I think it's just their part of their Fit Me line. This is in Fair. So I did, because I remember when they discontinued that and I had to start using other stuff, and I did put a little bit. I would use it on my nose, I would use it on my face, and I did have a CoverGirl. It was a similar consistency. It looked like a lipstick, and I would use that on my face too. like I said, I didn't want to go out and buy a bunch of products that I'm not going to use, so I tried to find stuff that was similar to what I was using. And I would just cancel out any redness, but you can see like that's not, I mean, it's covering, but it's not covering. But I said, once I couldn't get the Clinique one anymore, they really didn't cover. So for powder, I'm just going to use the Fit Me, because I just used a generic CoverGirl powder, and I used the little puff that was included, and this is in the same shade as the foundation. This is in 120. So I did use a powder after. I did dabble with the cream to powder compacts. I did have one of those too. I think I stopped using it just because it was heavy. I live in Arizona, it's hot, so I think that's why I went to the liquid foundation. Like I said, I didn't really have, I was fortunate. I had some acne, but not very much. I've pretty much been lucky and had an even skin tone most of my life, so I'm pretty sure the foundation I used was just medium coverage like this one. Full coverage wasn't a thing when I was in high school. I was in high school in 99, 2001, 2. I graduated in 03, so full coverage, I mean, I'm sure there were full coverage foundations, but like I said, I tended to buy whatever was the cheapest. So at that point with CoverGirl, the only thing I can remember was their stuff, and I think it's still fragrant, very fragranty. I did have a small blush brush. I think I generally used what came in the compacts, which I don't know that I even have a blush that has a little brush in it. So I'm just going to use my e.l.f. brush because it's cheap. And I just have pretty sure I used a CoverGirl Maybelline blush. So this is just a Revolution one. I haven't even tried this yet. It just says Revolution London on it. This is just one of their blusher reloaders in Rose Kiss. So I think I had one that was just a pinky shade. Again, I'm pretty sure it was CoverGirl. The one that looked like a small eyeshadow. And I would put that on. There was no contour, no highlighter, just blush. And it was only on my cheeks, so that's all I did. I did fill in my eyebrows a little bit. I'm pretty sure I would use an eyeliner. I do have this Ulta brow pencil in taupe, so I'm just gonna, because I'm pretty sure whatever color I was using probably wasn't the right shade, but I would fill my eyebrows in a little bit, not a lot, because my eyebrows have always looked like this. I did tweeze them, but I've never over tweezed them. I just don't have much. So I would just run this through to kind of fill them in, like I said. And I just grabbed a shade because I'm pretty sure whatever color I was using wasn't the right color, because I'm almost positive I would just use a brown eyeliner. My mom would give me her Clinique eyeliners when they would get low, and I would use those, and she would buy like the chocolate brown, but my hair was brown for a while and then I went blonde later. But this isn't a bad color. This is in taupe. I don't think I had a spoolie. I mean, I had a spoolie, but I don't think I used it on my eyebrows, but I would just run it through just to kind of, like I said, just to even them out a little bit. Nothing crazy. Just kind of making sure they look similar, and that no brow gel, nothing. That's all I would do. For eyeshadow, I had like a quad, and again, it was CoverGirl. I'm going to pull from this Too Faced Sugar Cookie palette. This was at Ulta last year for holiday, but I'm only going to use, I would have like a crease color, an outer corner color, and a light lid color. So I think we're going to use this shade, and this shade. So just those three, because like I said, I had a quad. It was a CoverGirl quad. So we're going to go in with the brown. And it was kind of a cranberry color. So I would put the mid-tone color in the crease. One of my friends, I remember, had given it to me and showed me how to use it. It was probably a combination between this light one and this dark one, so I'll mix those two together. But like I said, it was just a quad, an eyeshadow quad. And I would wear the same colors. I don't think I owned an eyeshadow palette until after I had graduated, like a full palette. I think I had some single shadows, probably. Some like inexpensive colored ones, but I don't think I ever owned like an eyeshadow palette. I mean, I might have gotten like a cheap one for Christmas, but I'm gonna go in with the darker, and then I would put the darker, and I only had like 3 brushes, so I used like the fluffy brush, like what I'm doing. I would just put the darker color in the outer corner. Let's go back in with the brown. I would try and make sure it blended. I don't think I ever put anything under my brow bone. And then I would go in with the shimmer on the lid. And it was usually a pinkier shimmer, but for the purposes of this video, we'll just use this one. It's kind of a rosy gold, but I would do a light color on the lid. And then go back in and blend it. I'm gonna put that darker color out here and kind of blend that out. It's kind of a weird, I don't know if I've ever used that shimmer before, that one that I put in the outer corner. But that's about all I would do. I would just use the 3 colors. Like I said, I had some quads. Not crazy about how that outer corner color looked, but I've used this palette. I just don't think I've ever used that shade. No brow bone highlight, so I would leave it like that. For eyeliner, I just had a black liner pencil. I have these two. This one's Urban Decay and this one's Smashbox. I just made sure I didn't have the waterproof one so that it's not a... There was no color on the lower lash line, and I would just take the black eyeliner, no inner corner highlight. I had one that was pretty creamy, so I pulled both of these out because I really haven't used these. There was no cat eye or anything, but I would just take the pencil and draw the black line. Said I remember the one I had, and it may have been an Avon one because my mom would buy me eyeliner, but I remember it being creamy. So then I would just draw that on. So we'll do the other side. Yeah, that outer corner color is not great out of that palette. So I don't know that I've ever used that shade. Not that it needs to look great, but So there's that. And then I would take it in the waterline and below. So I would do the full-on raccoon. I'm not putting this all the way. I would actually put this in the waterline. It won't stay because my eyes are running too bad, but I would try and make that really black. And I did have a smudger brush, and then I had a smudger on the liner, and I would come in and smudge it out on the bottom. But it didn't have like that weird harsh line. And then it would make it more raccoony, I'm sure. And I would smudge the top a little bit just because you get that like weird harsh line with those pencil liners sometimes. So I would come in because I'm using the brush, but like I said, I did have liners that had the smudger on it, and I would go in and smudge it. So then I would just do the liner like that. And then I did have mascara and an eyelash curler. Probably not a great one, so I'm not going to curl these a whole lot. And then for mascara, I'm just going to use the Maybelline Lash Sensational one, because again, I used just a drugstore one. My mom would buy the one in the pink tube with the green lid. I'm sure they still sell it. I couldn't tell you what brand it is, but it's very iconic. The packaging is very iconic because it's had the same packaging for like 20 years. I'm pretty sure that was the mascara I used because my mom would buy it and I would steal it. I put mascara on the lower lash, and then I didn't really wear lipstick. I think I had a couple of lipsticks, but I didn't really wear them. I would use just a pencil liner. So this is NYX in mauve. I would use just pinky liners. This is dry. Just cheap drugstore liners. Like I said, I did have a lipstick. I didn't really wear it. And it's kind of hitting that this is so dry because I know the ones that I used were dry. I do remember I would put chapstick on where I started just so that it would go on a little bit easier, and then I would just use like a sparkly colored gloss. I liked pinks. This is a ColourPop one. It's not quite a pink, but it's sparkly and it's close. So I would just put gloss on this. So I tended to do sparkly lip gloss in high school. I don't think, looking at that, my cheeks are probably pink enough, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So it was very basic. This eye is definitely darker in the outer corner than this eye, but that's fine. But yeah, you can see just basic makeup, and that didn't really take me that long, and just a few products. So yeah, hopefully this video was entertaining. I thought it was interesting just pulling stuff out to kind of see how much more I do now versus then. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. Let me know some of the products you used. Did you use this many? Did you use more? Did you use less when you were in high school? Let me know. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you leave. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully I will see you all in my next video. Bye everybody. Have a wonderful day.